عدنان البرش BBC News Khan Yunis Gaza.
Well, joining me is Mohamed Taha from BBC Arabic for more on this. And 2 days of fighting now, resumption of, but it's not just in the Gaza Strip, is it? Just give us an overview of the situation.
That's correct. Good morning, Gareth. The war returned much stronger than it was before. Now the concentration of the Israeli strikes are on the south as well as the north. So previously, before the truce, the focus of the strikes were on the north. Now it is on the south and Khan Yunis in particular. As we know, the Israeli forces asked the people to move from the north to the south. Now the situation is getting really dangerous as in the south there is a big concentration of people. As you said, there are more than 180 people died in the last 24 hours, and there is a massive humanitarian dangerous situation in the south as well as in the north. I spoke to a journalist overnight who says that people are eating a sandwich the whole day. They don't have enough food. They use logs for fire, and the hospitals are really overwhelmed. The few working hospitals in Gaza are really overwhelmed and cannot take any more patients. The people cannot get the dead people from under the rubble in Gaza. This is in Gaza. On the Lebanese front, there are exchange of strikes between Hezbollah and Israel. Israel struck a post of Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, killing 3 people. 2 of them are Hezbollah members, and Hezbollah replied also by striking military posts in northern Israel. Also, we witnessed overnight, probably for the first time, Israeli strikes on the outskirts of Damascus. They are saying there are Hezbollah posts there. Also, the situation in the West Bank is very tense. The Israeli forces are arresting many people in suspecting that they are Hamas members or supporters to Hamas. The number of arrests from the beginning of this war reached 3,000, over 3,500 people in the West Bank only.
The ceasefire, the temporary ceasefire, was successful in allowing the release of hostages that were held by Hamas and also the transfer of prisoners that were held by Israel. And we heard earlier of getting aid into Gaza. That all seems like a far cry now, just 2 days on. What do you think the prospects are for a return to a possible temporary ceasefire, another one in due course?
Yeah. The talks between the parties around ceasefire never stopped. So the Egyptians, the Qataris, along with Hamas and Israel, they are continuing lots of talks around having another ceasefire. They are exchanging accusations about who is responsible for breaking that ceasefire or the temporary truce. The main problem, Gareth, in that regard, that most of the hostages at the moment with Hamas maybe are military personnel. So they managed to extend the truce by freeing the women and the children and most of the civilians. They said they have some bodies that they can exchange as well as along with 1 or 2 other civilians. But the main problem is the military people. As we can see, in 2011, Israel exchanged 1,000 prisoners to Gilad Shalit. To what extent Israel would be open to free all the Palestinian prisoners for the all hostages, which is the Hamas approach at the moment. This is the main problem at the moment.
And it does pose that question, doesn't it, that renewed question of what is Israel's end goal in all of this, which still doesn't seem to be overly clear.
Israel announced really their 3 aims of this: destroying Hamas and removing them from power in Gaza. The second aim is getting out all the hostages. The third aim is to make Gaza not a threat for Israel in the future. Yes, after around 2 months, Israel is far from achieving any of these targets. Hamas is getting popular in at least in the Palestinian territories. We saw all the demonstrations around the world that supporting the Palestinians, and Israel didn't know even where are the hostages. However, we saw the hostages are coming out publicly. Israel, until now, they don't know where are they. And the third aim of making Gaza not a threat for Israel, I think Israel has a long time to achieve these targets if they manage to achieve.
Mohamed Taha, for the moment, thank you so much. Let's take a look at some of the day's other stories.